Jordan Peterson, a clinical psychologist and public intellectual, has spoken extensively about personality types, individual strengths, and the unique struggles people face based on their traits. His perspective on INFJs, often described as the rarest of the 16 Myers-Briggs types, is particularly intriguing. While Peterson doesn't focus solely on MBTI, he's dissected personality traits associated with the INFJ type, providing insight into why they're often misunderstood. In this note, we'll dive into how Peterson's psychological principles align with the INFJ experience and why INFJs often find themselves in challenging, often isolating situations due to their unique combination of introversion, intuition, feeling, and judgment. Jordan Peterson is known for his belief that a life centered on meaning, rather than happiness, is more fulfilling and resilient. INFJs often feel that life is more than just fleeting joys or superficial pleasures. They're drawn toward deeper significance, preferring to make choices that resonate with their values and ideals. While many people may seek happiness in momentary joys, relationships, or career accomplishments, INFJs tend to look beyond these and ask themselves, what is my purpose here? For INFJs, happiness is a byproduct, not a goal. When they pursue meaning, they may experience joy, but often it's tied to achieving something they believe is fundamentally valuable or aligned with their vision for a better world. INFJs often find themselves in situations where they have to make tough decisions, sometimes choosing the difficult path if it aligns better with their principles. INFJs who focus on meaning over happiness can derive a sense of internal peace, knowing they're contributing to something larger than themselves. Whether it's supporting a friend, engaging in creative pursuits, or contributing small acts of kindness, these actions all contribute to a purposeful life. For INFJs, who are naturally drawn toward meaning over happiness, Peterson's advice offers both validation and caution. While they're encouraged to lean into their purpose-driven mindset, they should be mindful of not allowing it to consume them entirely. Jordan Peterson frequently discusses how high sensitivity in individuals can act as both a powerful tool for understanding human nature and a source of significant personal burden. For INFJs, who are often described as empathic and intuitive, this sensitivity can feel like a double-edged sword. While it allows them to form deep, meaningful connections and offer profound support to those around them, it also means they are prone to emotional overwhelm, fatigue, and, in some cases, emotional burnout. They often sense when friends or family are struggling emotionally, even if they haven't said a word about it. This ability can help them build stronger, more empathetic relationships, as people tend to feel seen and understood by them in ways they may not experience with others. The emotional depth and compassion of an INFJ are key to their identity, allowing them to offer guidance, comfort, and a sense of understanding that people cherish. However, this sensitivity can come with significant downsides. When they constantly absorb others' feelings, especially pain or distress, it can weigh them down, leaving them feeling emotionally exhausted. With a high degree of empathy often comes a tendency toward self-sacrifice. INFJs may feel responsible for the well-being of those around them, taking on a caregiver or counselor role, even when it's not asked of them. Peterson warns that individuals who sacrifice too much of themselves for others can eventually feel resentful or exhausted. INFJs, due to their strong empathy and intuition, may regularly prioritize others' needs over their own, neglecting self-care and pushing their boundaries in the process. INFJs who ignore their own needs to support others may find themselves feeling drained and even resentful, especially if they don't feel that their efforts are reciprocated. Peterson often emphasizes the need for balance and self-respect. For INFJs, this means recognizing when their empathy is leading to self-neglect and learning to put themselves first when necessary. Peterson describes how highly sensitive individuals often experience an emotional hangover after intense social interactions. This is particularly relevant for INFJs, who may feel residual emotional weight from interactions long after they've ended. For example, an INFJ might spend hours replaying a difficult conversation, analyzing every detail and feeling the emotions as intensely as they did in the moment. This tendency to ruminate can lead to heightened anxiety and even self-doubt, as they second-guess their actions and worry about how they may have affected others. Peterson would likely advise INFJs to set limits on this type of rumination by practicing self-awareness and grounding techniques. Strategies such as journaling, meditation, or engaging in a creative outlet can help INFJs process their emotions without becoming consumed by them. Building mental closures for emotionally charged situations can help them move forward and focus their energy on the present rather than getting stuck in the past. A key aspect of managing high sensitivity, according to Peterson, is learning to establish healthy boundaries. INFJs often struggle to say no when someone is in need, which can lead to them feeling like an emotional dumping ground for others. Setting boundaries doesn't come naturally to most INFJs, as they fear it may come across as uncaring or selfish. Yet Peterson emphasizes that boundaries are not only healthy but essential for maintaining long-term mental and emotional health. For an INFJ, boundaries allow them to continue being compassionate without becoming overwhelmed. Boundaries might mean learning to step back from situations where they feel drained, practicing selective empathy, or setting time limits on emotionally intense conversations. INFJs can still offer meaningful support, but they must understand their own limitations and be willing to communicate those to others. Peterson suggests that by defining these boundaries, sensitive individuals are better equipped to help others without compromising their own well-being. In Peterson's view, highly sensitive individuals need to embrace their sensitivity as a core part of who they are, while also developing practical ways to manage it. For INFJs, the journey to emotional balance often involves recognizing that their empathy and insight are gifts but that they need to protect these gifts to avoid burnout. This means embracing practices that help them recharge, like spending time alone, engaging in creative pursuits, or practicing mindfulness. INFJs should also understand that they don't have to absorb every emotion around them to be compassionate. It's possible to offer support without internalizing others' pain. By balancing compassion with emotional boundaries, INFJs can better protect themselves and sustain their unique ability to connect with others deeply. INFJs live with an emotional depth that can be both profoundly rewarding and exhausting. Peterson's insights on sensitivity provide a roadmap for these individuals to make the most of their emotional gifts without letting them become burdens. By setting boundaries, developing self-compassion, and learning to manage the emotional weight they carry, INFJs can experience the benefits of their empathy and insight while protecting their own emotional well-being. For those who relate to this journey, remember, sensitivity is a strength when used wisely, and learning to navigate it can transform emotional burdens into powerful, life-enriching assets. Let us know in the comments if you've experienced the double-edged sword of sensitivity, and share what strategies have helped you manage it effectively. For INFJs, idealism is both a powerful force and a potential source of profound disappointment. INFJs are often driven by a vision of how things should be, whether in relationships, work, or society. This innate idealism can inspire and guide them toward meaningful work and fulfilling relationships. However, it also means they are frequently at odds with the harsher realities of life, which can lead to deep feelings of disillusionment and even cynicism. INFJs naturally see the potential in others and in the world. They have a powerful sense of purpose, one that seeks to make an impact and improve the lives of those around them. Yet, they are often faced with an undeniable gap between their vision and what is achievable, given the limitations of people, resources, or circumstances. This tension between what could be and what actually is can be a constant source of frustration and emotional exhaustion. INFJs don't just apply their ideals to abstract concepts, they also hold high standards for themselves and the people in their lives. This drive toward improvement and authenticity makes them inspiring figures, often motivating those around them to aim higher. However, it can also backfire. When people fail to live up to the INFJ's high expectations or when their own efforts fall short, INFJs may feel deeply disheartened. But if their loved ones don't share the same drive or aren't willing to make the changes an INFJ envisions, it can lead to disappointment and a sense of unfulfillment. They may start to question whether their relationships are genuine or if they're merely tolerating subpar situations that don't align with their values. This sense of helplessness in the face of systemic or seemingly insurmountable challenges can lead to feelings of inadequacy and despair. INFJs may become disillusioned not only with society but also with themselves if they feel they're not doing enough to bring about the positive change they desire. This can create a cycle of guilt and burnout, as they push themselves to take on more than they can realistically handle in an attempt to fulfill their sense of responsibility. This can be problematic in professional settings, where pragmatic approaches and flexibility are often needed to move forward. INFJs may resist bending their values to fit a system that feels morally or ethically ambiguous, which can limit their opportunities or create friction with colleagues. Jordan Peterson often speaks about the necessity of necessary sacrifices in the real world, where perfect outcomes are rare, and compromise is inevitable. For INFJs, the idea of compromising their vision or ideals can feel like a betrayal of their own integrity. However, learning to adapt and find practical solutions is often essential for making progress, both personally and professionally. If you're an INFJ who's felt this tension, how do you balance your ideals with real-world challenges? INFJs are often acutely aware of their inner conflicts, buried insecurities, and parts of themselves that may feel at odds with their core values. However, for INFJs, who often strive to live according to high ethical and personal standards, acknowledging their shadow can feel like a betrayal of those ideals. These may range from suppressed anger or resentment to desires or impulses that clash with their core values. Because INFJs are idealistic and sensitive, they can be particularly hard on themselves when they detect any negative qualities within. Jung believed that acknowledging these parts of ourselves is essential to true self-understanding, and for INFJs, integrating the shadow is a crucial step towards self-acceptance and inner balance. INFJs tend to hold themselves to high standards, not only in their actions but also in their inner world. This self-critical approach can prevent INFJs from experiencing the emotional freedom that comes from accepting themselves fully, flaws and all. INFJs who suppress their darker emotions may find themselves feeling perpetually emotionally drained, as it requires considerable energy to keep these feelings at bay. Suppressing emotions can lead to physical and mental stress, creating symptoms like fatigue, anxiety, or even burnout. However, by allowing themselves to acknowledge and process these feelings, INFJs often find a sense of relief and release. When they allow space for all parts of themselves, they often find that they're able to connect more deeply with others, understanding that everyone has hidden struggles and insecurities. For INFJs looking to embark on this journey, shadow work can be an emotional but rewarding experience. When encountering difficult emotions, INFJs can benefit from reminding themselves that it's normal to feel anger, sadness, or jealousy. Journaling is a powerful tool for processing complex emotions and exploring hidden thoughts. These creative forms of expression can help INFJs bring hidden feelings to the surface in a constructive way. For INFJs, embracing their shadow can feel daunting, yet the rewards are transformative. By accepting the parts of themselves that they once resisted, INFJs often experience a deeper sense of inner peace and self-acceptance. By bringing their shadow into the light, they allow themselves to become more balanced, authentic individuals capable of greater empathy, wisdom, and inner harmony. If you're an INFJ or someone who has undertaken shadow work, we'd love to hear about your experiences. INFJs often carry this weight, feeling that they're destined to make a significant impact yet uncertain how to channel their potential. Peterson might argue that this fear of not living up to one's own ideals or society's expectations can be paralyzing. Peterson advises embracing a mindset of learning and incremental improvement rather than seeking immediate, perfect results. One of Peterson's most discussed topics is the need for individuals to balance their social and introspective sides. INFJs, as introverts with a profound sense of empathy, often find themselves caught between a desire to help others and an equally strong need for solitude. Peterson's advice here would likely emphasize the importance of self-care and self-knowledge. Peterson's perspective might encourage INFJs to view their need for solitude as a strength rather than a flaw. Jordan Peterson's insights into personality and the struggles faced by highly sensitive, empathetic people like INFJs offer a pathway to understanding. Through self-acceptance, realistic expectations, and a commitment to personal growth, INFJs can find a path that honors both their dreams and the realities of the world around them. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Psych IQ for more on personality, psychology, and self-discovery.